We talk about Ruby and Oswald. Even now, after all these years, there are still vast numbers of people who are not satisfied with the explanation that Oswald acted alone, that there was no conspiracy. There are still books written, theories advanced. What do you think after all this time?
Well, we did a thorough investigation on the basis of all the facts available at the time, of the possibility of the shot coming from where it did, whether there was another group of or single marksman on the grassy knoll, and all of that. We went through all of that. Did our own ballistics tests, as a matter of fact. On the basis of all the facts we had at the time, we came to the conclusion that the Warren Commission report was probably the best you could do, that all of this could have happened, and probably did happen. However, the one thing we did not know, which was kept from the Warren Commission, was that the CIA had a plot against Castro. I think that's important. The Oswald connections with Castro, that is his passing out the leaflets in New Orleans, the visit down in Mexico City to the Cuban embassy. These things create doubt. They've got to, it seems to me. Before we could dismiss that, before this revelation the CIA had a Castro plot. But with that hanging over our heads, I just don't know whether or not it might be possible for someone in Cuba to have said, if that's the way they want to play their dirty little games, well, we can play that game too. It didn't have to be Castro, certainly. It didn't have to be anybody high in his administration. It could have been one nut Cuban who happened to know Oswald and said, hey, wouldn't it be a great idea? They tried to kill the guy you like, let's go after him. I don't know. I mean, there's one other aspect of that. When we did our memoirs broadcasts with Lyndon Johnson, we had an agreement with him, as we have with all former presidents we've done these memoir broadcasts with, that we did a tape recording, an audio tape recording of all of the conversations, which were all off the cuff, of course, not prepared in advance and so forth. And because of the possibility of a former president making a security gaffe, we had an audio tape, and they could listen to the audio tape, transcribe it, and if they came back to us within 24 hours and said, this goes out because of security, we would not question it. But if they let the 24-hour period go, then it was locked in. They couldn't claim security any longer, and any political arguments were not acceptable to us. In the case of Johnson, when we talked about the assassination, he said that he wasn't sure that Oswald acted alone. And it was far out longer than 24 hours that he came back and said he wanted to strike that from the transcript, from the film. We argued it. We went right down to the wire on it, and finally agreed, gave in, and excised it from the tape. But those were his sentiments.